Myself, Sriniwasan. I would like to take a topic pivot and pivot table for class 12 IP. The term pivot used in Python to create or to reshape the row values into column values. That means one can create a new data frame in Python to convert the row values into column values. In this process, the pivot takes three arguments. One is the index and the column and its values. This is a very interesting feature. One can view different types of output. Let's have example. This is the example with its definition. You can note down in your copy these definitions. I would like to read this definition. The pivot function is used to reshape a given data frame organized by a given index. That means these index and the column values are its arguments. You can see a raw data have four columns. The date is there, that city, the temperature and the humidity. There's the four different data is to be collected in different dates with different cities. You can see in multiple dates, multiple cities are there, its temperature is there and humidity. After pivoting, that means if we take all the arguments and settings, we have a following type of information. You can see in this information, it's a city based report. That means you can see in a one column the four cities automatically adjusted, that is Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata and Mumbai, and in the row the three different dates, that is 25th, 26th and 27th, and you will have a temperature data. So this type of information can be generated by pivot. Now let's move into the programming section, how we have to do all these processes through Panda programming. So first of all, we have to take input data or collect the data in Excel. That is, this is the Excel. You can see in Excel we have collected the data. We have collected the date, city, temperature. It is very quite easy to type or collect the data in Excel. Then after we going to save this Excel file into CSV format. You can see if you use file save as, you will have this CSV format. This is absolute necessary to save it into CSV. The CSV means comma separated value format. Because of one can also view this data in Notepad also. One can also save in Excel format also. It's all depend in which type of format you want to save. But here I would like to take example to save it in CSV format. So this is the data is to be saved in CSV format in a particular in that location where Python program is saved. Or if you want to save it in another location, you have to define a specific location where this CSV format data is available. So this is the first thing. You have to collect the data date wise. You can see here the different cities and temperatures. Just in the previous example, the same example is here. Now then after we have to look out the programming part. You can just see here, this is the programming. Now in this programming we have to use a sentence. PD means we have to define a pandas as PD. This is the variable PD. Read underscore CB. This is the function which actually read the data from CSV format. In earlier example, we have to declare the data in this dictionary format or any other format. But this is another way which is quite easy to collect the data in CSV format and then call those data in Python program. So this is the line which is responsible to read the data from a CSV format. The file name is city.csv. Then printdf is a simply convert the entire data into data frame, and then we are going to print it in data frame. Now you can see in this example pivot. You can see here in this example, this is the pivot. This pivot function display a result city based data with different temperatures. So you can see I would like to have another example of pivot table so that we have to describe what is the difference between pivot and pivot table. Now let look first this example city, and you can take your data and the values is temperature. You can take it humidity also, so you can, yeah. Now we're going to run this example. You can see this is the example, this is the output. In here this output only simply shows the data frame. The data is to be taken from a CSV file directly, and then in the lower portion you can see after having this is the line, pivot convert the entire data, that is in one column it's a city, and converted the entire data uh, temperature into different columns with different dates. So this is the method through which one can convert the raw data into columnar values. So it's quite interesting to view all these things. Now in this series have another function, that is pivot table. So there is a difference between pivot and pivot table. It's a small difference actually. In pivot, it actually creates an error while displaying a duplicate data. So in place of that, in this newer version, we have to replace this pivot with pivot table to rectify that error, and it understands and takes the duplicate data also. Now look at this one simple example which actually display the errors through which one can understand how the error is to be their value. I will take this value as a city. Suppose this is one example I would like to take. Now you can see city, there are duplicate values city. If I going to run this program, it generates error. You can see there are lots of errors. So error means the pivot function not able to handle the duplicate data actually. Now in place of that, now let I replace this pivot function with pivot table. You can see suppose here is the temperature. I would take temperature as its index dates column, then value as a city, and use aggregate function sum. You can see here if I going to run this, you can have a very perfect, you can see here there is no error, and duplicate data, you can see this 38, the Chennai Delhi and Mumbai Delhi, that means the temperature 38 is to be found in these two cities in that same day. So that's the duplicate data, and the pivot function actually creates error in this position. That means it does not handle the duplicate values. So it is good to use pivot table in place of pivot in the newer version. So it handles the data perfectly. You can see in this output, Chennai Delhi board data is to be displayed. So this is the topic of pivot and pivot table. You can hope you can understand the difference between pivot and pivot table. A very interesting feature and very useful in major programming, because in all these columnar data is to be converted into row and row is to be converted into columnar values. Thank you very much. Hope all of you understand pivot and pivot table. Thank you.